Welcome back to the Scorching Hot Takes podcast. As you can see, me and Max are next to each other, which means we're joined by a very special guest. We've got the legend himself, Bob Brazill. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Legend's a bit strong.
I think what we wanted to start off with is just kind of like discussing everything you do, but maybe in a bit of like a chronological order. We have a lot of fans that are looking to like come to uni in Leeds, doing like music courses or just getting into the industry. And I figure like yourself, you've dabbled your toes in so many different areas. Yeah. But we're quite interested to see like what was your come up like getting into the industry?
Oh, you would have started at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can.
Let's do the life of Bob Brazill.
Right. So we've got to go. It was black and white. Mm-hmm. Right. Let's just. So I'm probably older. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? Right. I'll start where I am now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And jump back and forward.
Okay.
So like I'm 55. Right.
I thought you were 54.
I know. It was my birthday on Saturday.
Oh yeah, of course.
What were we going to say? Sorry, I was going to do this.
No, 54 rather than 55.
And my brain feels sometimes like I'm 25 still. And like if people ask me like, what do you do? And I say like, well, at the moment, it's on my day job, lecturer at Leeds Beckett, get to talk about music for a living, love it. Run a record label, DJ, all of the amazing things, and probably had the best couple of years. If you said to me like when I was like 20, what do you want to do? Probably achieved all of them things in the past couple of years, which is crazy. It's like someone seeing a letter from the doctors about me that I haven't seen and filled in a Make-A-Wish Foundation application. So, yeah, man. Musician first and foremost. Started getting into synthesizers and things when I was like probably like 15. Mm-hmm. Come from a musical family. And just got into like studios. Me and my mates, we weren't like towny people that went out. We just stayed in like the house and built a studio and made dub and did lots of substances. Can we say that?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah, you can.
Oh yeah, glue. We just loved it. But we weren't that kind. We're in the northeast. I know you guys come from like a small town as well, so you know what it's like. And to get a chance of a life less ordinary, coming from somewhere like that is great, really. So went to art college, loved it. That was my first sort of thing about like higher education. Mm-hmm. Then just ended up in Leeds, early 90s. Worked through the dance music scene in Leeds, a place called the Faversham, DJing, doing promotion, running the studio. But always had a studio, was always working, doing studio stuff, was doing music for computer games, for television and things like that. And got to 30 and my wife said, "Go get a proper job." And that proper job was lecturing, went and did a master's, started lecturing, and then I just get to meet wonderful people. And then the label was kind of born 2017 as a label to kind of like, the ethos of the label is like safety in numbers. Mm-hmm. Let's make a scene that's not so much celebrating itself, but a scene that kind of helps people and that's been amazing. So that works kind of hand in hand with what I do with Beckett. And I've always been a DJ, but the DJing has just got ridiculous recently. It's just like,
Well, we've had a couple of times where we've been places, just casual drink or whatever. Oh, it's Bob.
Yeah.
I'm omnipresent.
Yeah. We have literally used that word before. You walk around the corner and we just bump into you.
I know. Yeah. So, and I feel like it's definitely been a privilege to get to this point. Do you know what I mean? I have a problem with like perceived authority. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm not. I know I am in. I've got a lot of responsibilities and things like that in the book. Yeah. There's that time when like the phone rings and you're like, oh, who do I talk? Who do I get to fix this? And you're like, oh shit, it's me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that happens. Usually, what I do is ask my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's better than me. So lots of different things.
Still a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Yeah, musician as well. Play most instruments. Yeah.
When did that start? When was the earliest music memory for you?
Ooh.
Stumped him.
Because I think we've spoken about this both of us before. Like my earliest memories is in the car. I was never really into music when I was really little, but mum and dad were massively into music. And the first, it was listening to CDs in mum and dad's car and stuff.
Love that.
And one of them that I loved was mum had a CD and it was all the Bond themes.
Nice.
And I used to love that kind of stuff.
A bit of John Barry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was the Bond themes one that I really loved. I got into stuff like Pulp and stuff because that's what they were listening to. And then that transitioned into something, now that's what I call music, CDs. Then it was all that, and then it went from there.
Yeah.
Yep. CDs, that was
what about you?
For me, I remember I used to listen to like one of my earliest memories. We had a CD of like just Christmas songs. It's probably like one of my earliest memories of like actively like enjoying and like asking for them songs to be replayed and stuff like that. And then we obviously now that's what I call music CDs. I had them all as well.
Yeah, that was the
Gangnam
thing,
Style. Yeah, all that. So that's how I got into it, and then I just kind of went from there. And then kind of like just before becoming a teenager, started to like actually get into artists. That's when I had like my first phone and had like Apple Music on there, so I was able to explore and just get into it. What was it like for you then?
The first music I can oh god, this is terrible, but it was Gary Glitter.
Not ideal.
Shall I continue?
Hey, you're just being honest.
Have you seen that clip where it was like a sketch that they did where it was like a time capsule that was buried?
Yeah,
and they keep pulling things out of it.
It's terrible.
You just stay in there.
It's brilliant. Well, I mean, like I was like born in 1970, so like when I was a little kid, like the earliest memories of like jumping around listening to songs, probably about like 3 years old, Gary Glitter and stuff like that. But then it very, very, very quickly, the 70s were a weird time for music in this country. Right, they were just mad. There was a lot of real terrible music, and then like we got punk, and punk was like the homogenized version of like British punk.
Yeah,
was a homogenized version of like what had been bubbling underground with like the MC5 and New York Dolls and all that kind of stuff. But my auntie and uncle, I got a record player when I was about 8, and they'd just give me a lot of 7-inch singles, and it was like Elvis Costello and the Pretenders and another uncle of mine gave me an album called We Do 'Em Our Way, which was like regular bands doing punk covers.
Right, okay.
Which is like, like the Sex Pistols doing like I Can't Get No Satisfaction and things like that. Yeah. And I just remember thinking, oh man, this is interesting. This is like not pop music, but there's something a little bit, I don't just have to listen to what's on the radio. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
So yeah, I love that. I got a pink 7-inch of Cool for Cats squeeze. Got it on my bedroom wall.
Very cool.
In a frame, because it's just like, it just reminds me of that time, really, isn't it?
Nice.
It's a lot of that stuff, what you were talking about, listening to stuff in your parents' car.
Yeah.
It's wrapped up with like nostalgia, isn't it?
Yeah.
And all of them
I
things.
feel like a lot of the time as well, you don't want to admit it, but you get older and you like realise how much of an influence, as much as you don't think your parents are cool, they actually do have a massive influence on your music taste, because you're into a lot of the stuff that your parents are into, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%. Like,
that's me as well. That's why I'm so big on the 80s, because that's my parents' stuff.
like we didn't discuss this at all on the podcast. My mum is a massive Eurodance fan.
Right.
So I went to see Scooter with her last year, and it's great. It's great fun. What, you're not a Scooter fan?
No, I've got a story about Scooter.
All right, well, let's get on to it, because it sounds good.
Take off your shirt and wait for the further instructions. I'm
Move your
starting the
ass.
microphone business now.
Yep. They did that as the encore or like the final song or something. Move your ass. What a tune. It was absolutely limbs. I was the youngest there by quite a mile. I've never, to be fair, we saw like a Pink Floyd tribute recently as well. And we were young there, but I've never felt more out of place in the Scooter crowd. I also went to see Clubland live with her at the arena last year as well, but it's good fun. And like, my mum's having a good time. And for me, I know all the songs off by heart because of how much I've listened to it. So like, as much as I don't listen to it on my day to day, hey, the songs still go hard and I have a good time.
The thing about Scooter, it's one step away from Serbian underground dayglow goth music. Do you know what I mean? It's like that crazy one. You see the videos of them in the underpass and you're like, what was going on there? Scooter, 1995. I was in a band. Well, I was in the band that I was in a band called Prescriptions when I was like younger. We got signed, and it was great. Like, and then we had like another band called Carousel with my good friends of mine, and we got booked to play in London, and we got booked to play in Subterranea in Camden, and we were like a cack punk like indie terrible band. We got booked to play an R&B night by mistake.
Oh, not ideal.
And we didn't play. But my mate who was driving, I remember we set off from the M25 in a Peugeot 205, about 2 o'clock in the morning, coming back. There may have been things ingested, but we managed to do the whole length of the M1 in 2 hours listening to Scooter.
Fire.
Dad, don't do that, guys. Let's go. No.
Say whatever you want, but just say allegedly after.
Allegedly that happened. So I've got fond memories of Scooter. But that parent thing, listening to your things and stuff like that, it's weird. Because my kids are like 24 and 21 now. And like, we've got like, as parents, we've got memories of what we used to play them, like, Jack Johnson, the Curious George soundtrack.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But one of our kids wouldn't go to sleep for 18 months.
Wow.
The only thing that would put them to sleep was Coldplay.
Oh, really?
Fair enough.
I'm just saying.
I don't think I've got any of going to sleep, but there's an incredible video of me, and I'm probably not even 2 yet, and Dad's watching a live Simple Minds set, and I'm just in my nappy, and I'm just holding like the cupboard that the TV's on top of, just jumping up and down.
Nice.
I'm not even 2 years old yet.
Yeah.
I mean, Simple Minds that's one of the ones that I've grown up listening to.
Yeah, man.
Then when I got into music, I was like, that's what Dad likes. That's not cool and everything. But then over the last few years, I actually quite like Simple Minds, and now I really like Simple Minds.
Yeah.
Yes, they are, aren't they? They stand the test of time. When you see all of these heritage acts now that are doing the scene, and they're just dead good. You like probably think that like, they might have been a little bit on it like when they were younger, and now they've got a band that can play.
Yeah.
And it's just like, whoa. And you're like, you're like, what, you're still alive?
Yeah.
I mean, Angus Young. There's some
he's
way you're just like,
now. I mean, you've obviously getting arthritis in them knuckles at some point. You can't be doing all that forever, can't you?
Just give it up. Do you know what I mean? You've had a go.
Yeah.
But it's live
Simple
music.
Minds are still really good, apparently. I mean, I've seen
so
videos of
yeah,
mum and dad seeing them, and
Yeah,
Jim
yeah.
Kerr can still sing. Charlie Birchall's incredible. They've got a new band set up. The drummer, this, I don't know her name, but this young lady is absolutely incredible. She's so good. I want to say, I've never seen them before, but I think I'll probably go.
I feel like next year we've got.
But that's the thing. So, mum and dad saw them twice on the last tour. Once in, I think twice, both in different places in Italy. And because they all have like hotels and stuff that they only Sorrento and places like that. And Dad thought, they're all late 60s or whatever now. That'll be it. That'll be the last one. And then Jim Kerr tweeted something along the lines of, "Great tour. See you in 2027. We've got to do it.
2027.
We've got to go."
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah. They'll be about 70 on by 2027.
Still going, no? Yeah,
mad.
It is mad.
But to be fair, some have still got it. Like look at the Cure. Like Robert Smith.
Robert Smith can still sing really well.
He's amazing.
We'll be seeing them in summer when we go to Primavera Sound in Barcelona.
I hate you already. I want to. We were just looking at the lineup of that yesterday.
Yeah,
insane.
It's going to be so good. We literally saw it. And we're like, we have to go. We'll figure everything else out after. We know we're going. That's all sorted. But I think we are going to have to sleep the last night there on the beach.
Here we go. Yeah, but fine.
We'll drop straight to sleep. I'm sure we'll be so tired by after all that.
Festival. I love. I love a festival and any chance to go away and do like some music with bands anything. It's just that's it, innit? When you're young and you're looking at the TV and you're like, I want to go on tour.
Yeah,
I want to go and do these things, and it's like, yeah, love it.
That's an interesting thing, actually. What's the best festival you've ever been to?
That I can remember. See, I don't drink now or anything. But the 90s were a blur. Do you know what? I think when I first started being able to take my kids to festivals, and it was probably Leeds 2017, something like that, when Fall Out Boy played.
Right, okay.
And I just got special moments of like both my kids being there for the first time, and just silly things like that. But it depends. So I've got this weird thing that's happened to me over the years, and I don't know how it happened, but I'm nervous and edgy and a bit agoraphobic if I'm not at a gig or a festival when I'm involved with it. If I'm not involved with it,
we'd both be like that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, if I've got like they were laughing at me live at Leeds the other day. They were like, "God, someone's give Bob a radio on a AAA. What's only bad things can happen."
Yeah.
And but as I don't know, like at some of the early Glastonbury's, early 90s Glastonbury's. I mean, we went to Glastonbury, didn't see a band all weekend.
Mad.
Do you know what I mean?
I think we've had days at Leeds where we've been very close to that, where you wake up still pissed, start drinking, and you've got we because we're such organisation freaks, which obviously we have to be because of the podcast and everything. We like always plan our days like a week ahead at least, and everything. So we do the same for Leeds test with who we were going to see. I reckon we only went to see about 60% of who we were.
No, I actually disagree.
Better than me. I was poor.
If I can remember them, No.
to an extent.
But I still went and saw them. Like I remember, like
I promise you, we've not gone to see everyone that we were supposed to see.
Yeah, but I mean, like some of the earlier acts. But no, to be fair, like later in the day, like we actually we were still pretty good. Functional alcoholics.
It was the ones where it was like 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
It was those ones, and it was like
Sometimes
we
we're even
thought,
awake.
they sound really interesting. That'll be a good one to get the day started. And then you wake up and you're like, I couldn't think of anything worse than walking all that way right now. I'm going to lay in my tent and eat a granola bar and try not to throw it back up.
I do love festivals though. I mean,
they are good.
Yeah, they're so good.
I'd love to go to where's the one at Jodrell Bank and Blue Dot.
All right, okay.
And actually come across that one.
That looks great. But yeah, it's that weird thing that when you're working in the industry and then your mind's taken up by the logistics of a festival.
Yeah.
It's like it's that point. I was talking to some students the other day saying like, do you play guitar? Yeah. Do you play it because you like to play it and you enjoy it? Yeah. Something changes when that becomes your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when you're starting to play because it needs to be a finished track or something else like that. And it's the same with gigs and festivals and stuff and things like that. So, yeah, I think, I don't know, I was asking them what the dream festival would be as well and who would you get on your dream festival and all of these sort of things.
Yeah.
And everybody was like saying stuff from like people from like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So
We've done that question before, haven't we? Like dream headliners. I don't remember what we said. I think Radiohead was in there for both of us. I think I remember that crossover being there.
Beastie Boys for me.
Yeah, valid. Yeah, I'd have a few different ones. I'd
We
like
did
to do
Dead
like a
or
proper
Alive, didn't
themed.
we? We did Dead or Alive.
I'd have to do a theme one because, like, as you've probably seen from the podcast, we have such like eclectic taste. We listen to so much different stuff.
Yeah.
My headliners would probably change like week to week of what I'm feeling that week. Like that would be my dream thing. But
Well, we could do the. I think we said last episode because of how we just loved live at Leeds. It was so good. We were saying, and I think you actually said it while we were at the North. This is so good. Why can't we do this every weekend?
Yeah,
we were
we
just
were
saying
saying
like
that.
having live at Leeds on every weekend. It would just be incredible. Different bands every time.
Yeah,
That's the dream.
The thing was that like the only thing that was like bad about live at Leeds is the lineup was too good, so there was clashes.
Yeah.
If you
can't
could
see
do it like
everything.
each week, because we went, the main debate we had was whether we go see Kia or we go see the North, and we're massive fans of the North, and just loving their new material at the moment.
Yeah, man.
So we ended up going to see them, and it was absolutely amazing. But then you kind of think, but now we still got to go and see Kia at some point.
Yeah.
So if live at Leeds could just be every week, then you wouldn't have that issue. You could go see literally everyone by the
I think
end of
the
the
other
year.
thing is as well is having the podcast. That was one of the main things that made, because I've heard some Kia songs and I thought kind of, yeah, but then they've got so much hype behind them. I was thinking, I've got to go see Kia because I feel like I need to make a judgment so I can come on air and either say I've been underrating them or they're so overhyped I think they're actually a bit crap. I wanted to see them so I could make a judgment, but I still haven't. So
I think Future
I'll
Sound are
say
putting them on at like Stylus or something like next year, so we'll be able to get down to that one. But
I mean, Live at Leeds is a tastemaker festival, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it is. If you look at 2019 Sam Fender.
yep.
Oh, sorry, I can't say Sam Fender anymore, can I?
after Flat Move.
If you haven't seen the last podcast, no. Anyway, but I mean, I love it. I love the guys. It was good. You guys did a great job. Coming to see like bands like No Cameo that are just like, I can tell you that we've signed them to the label now. So
Nice.
we will be working with them. They're so good and up for it and grateful.
Yeah, that's what you got to
Which
be.
is the most important thing.
And they got a nice little. I mean, our room at our theatre was massive. You get 400 people in there.
Yeah.
But like we had about 1,200 people through the whole day.
Nice.
Which for a little independent label is great. And it was quite interesting because I've been in Reykjavik the week before at Airwaves.
Right, okay.
Which is the same idea, municipal, different like sort of things. All the same people were there, like Fat Dog, Get Down Services, all that. And it was just weird seeing it in Reykjavik, the same thing, but in a different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with that municipal thing though, like everybody was out. Still, you get Icelandic 6 music dads as well. do you know the ones I mean?
I could probably make a good guess.
Yeah. All bald. Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, Live at Leeds is such a good festival for finding new upcoming talent. That's how I found Flat Moon last year. That was the first time I was introduced to them.
Brilliant.
Was one of the modules on my course. We had to do a marketing plan for upcoming band, and your label Monomyth was one of the labels that we were allowed to select artists to use as our case study. I thought they looked interesting, and I was certainly proven right by that. And then went and saw them at Live at Leeds. I thought they were absolutely amazing. And then in the last year, I've seen them about 6 times, I think it is now. And then we had them recently on the podcast as well, which will be out by the time this is out. And it's just crazy where it can take you a day like Live at Leeds. It's such good value for money.
Exactly that. Yeah, absolutely. And a band like Flat Moon that are just working their socks off.
Yeah.
You know, as a label, we kind of like, we're like a nursery label, really, I suppose. And then like bands that we have, and then, you know, they go off and become alumni. So obviously bands like RTO, smashing it, Venus Girls are smashing it. Then we've got like, you know, Flat Moon will be the next ones where I'm like waving, getting on the big bus to go off to big school. Yeah. But that's what we do, you know, and and some don't get to that point and some do get to that point, but it's the work.
Yeah, and it's probably arguably one of the most important parts of all their careers as well. Like they need that leg up to get to the next stage.
Yeah,
Like you say, you can't go to like school without doing like your preschool or whatever first.
And I'm not interested in the next bit. I mean, I like, you know, I went to my first award ceremony with the 113 the other week, and we were all just sat there just in London at this big award ceremony, just going, God. This is weird.
Yeah.
Do I like this? Is it odd? And it was odd. It was odd. And yeah, for me, you know, well, it's a two-way thing. I've not got the ability and the time and the knowledge to get to the next bit. Like bands now, when they get from what we've done, they need a manager and they need a booking agent and they need a press team and they need that to be all working to get them to make the money, because the music industry is on its arse.
Yeah.
But it's on its arse with we've got a chance to rebuild it in the shape that you want it, your generation, in the way you want it to be. Yeah. And I fully believe that. And the way that Spotify is absolutely crumbling and crucifying everything, what with AI and what with the music, the value gap, is pushing people towards the live industry even more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw something early, like the last couple of days, that it was to earn a minimum wage on Spotify, you need over like 500,000 monthly streams.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
Well, 1 million streams is $3,000, right?
Yeah.
And if you imagine that between a band and how hard it is to get 1 million streams, and then who takes a cut? It's not a living wage. Where as 1 million people 30 years ago give you £1 for your record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you go, but it's, you know, we've got to move with the times. Yeah. So yeah, the AI overlords won't have it all their own way.
No, can't be having that. Yeah. But yeah. Should we think about like in the 80s? Obviously, you'll have been a teenager then. What was like your favourite stuff of that era?
My favourite stuff.
Yeah,
my favourite stuff of the 80s was. So it started like synth pop, synthesizers.
Yeah,
New Order.
Yeah,
I've got the perfect kiss up there.
You have indeed. I saw that as I came in.
Yeah.
Learning like The Cure. Like. Again, seeing that there was something else that was out there. I mean, there's a lot of great 80s pop songs that are iconic and could only have ever been written at that time.
Yeah.
Really. Because that was like the kind of one of the last decades where your big superstars were allowed to evolve and allowed to be what they are. Because what happened in the 80s is you had like 40, 50 years before that of people being sold records. Then we got CDs, and then the record labels sold everybody what they'd already bought, again, on a different format. So you had all of that happening. But then, like, music-wise, absolutely loved, like, again, synthesizers, studio equipment, saving up to buy, like, sequencers, and like, my bedroom was just, like, wires, and I was trying to work out how to track
you were a
things.
tech geek of music fans?
I think so, but not, like, I knew enough to get into trouble. But also, like, we had a club where I was called the Gemini. It was like an alternative club on a Thursday night. And you'd go there and they'd be playing like Sisters of Mercy and The Cult and The Damned and like The Cure and like the Smiths and some of the really underground stuff. And that's where I was like, I remember being in that club off my head on acid. And then for some reason...
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And they were playing on the screens a Betamax bootleg version of the first Predator movie.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right. Without the volume on in a club.
What?
Right. And that was on. And I just remember like thinking, I'm having a bad do.
That's like,
Allegedly.
Do you know when we were at a book club and I was really drunk and they had like, I don't know why, they had like a projector with a 24-hour live stream of a building site. And I was just looking at it thinking, am I having a schizophrenic episode or am I just watching a building site? Because I feel like that shouldn't. Yeah. Why is that? Maybe the football would be on or.
It's worse with alleged drugs. Yeah. But yeah, I just it was a crazy time, and I think it was like because like you guys are what's known as your technology natives. Mm-hmm. So you guys are you were born into this world, but in the 80s, like we were like, what do you mean? It's a computer? And like a remote control. What? Mm-hmm. You know, all of these things that were happening. It was in innocent times, really, and that development, like video games. All the retro, all the stuff that you see that's like 80s retro, was like some people get it right. I think that's probably why something like Stranger Things was such a big hit because it captured that zeitgeist of that era, albeit in America. Like with obviously the lovely the opening arpeggios and the music and the way it looks and there's an definitely for someone who grew up in that era. To watch something that's trying to be authentic, it had this massive authenticity to it. So
You know the best thing is as well. I feel like a lot of the times when times like the 80s, especially in like film and TV, when they try to like be looked back on, they always get the look really wrong because they try and make it like cool 80s, but realistically, it was bowl cuts and checkered shirts and jeans that were probably too small for you or too big for you.
And like John Carpenter films and stuff like The Thing and all of that kind of stuff that came out that was so. Yeah, just otherworldly, really. I remember seeing Terminator for the first time, and I wasn't in a very clever sort of class at school, so I was all like, I was like when I went to sixth form, I was in all the musical theatre stuff as well.
Yeah,
and I couldn't do French and I couldn't do maths. Turns out I was dyslexic, and they didn't know, and I had
my brother had that,
and I was ADHD as well. But then I'd be like playing the piano, or I'd be like. Playing a part in a sixth form play. Do you know what I mean? And they couldn't get their heads around it. So I went to art college. Had the best time. Foundation art at art college was probably the best thing I ever did. Loved it. I mean, that I enjoyed. Anyway. So yeah, the 80s music wise, a lot of it is what it seems like it is and was. But there was a lot of cool stuff. And then I was obsessed a little bit with like the American underground hardcore scene, you know, like Dead Kennedys and Butthole Surfers and Husker Du. And I had friends that understood that a little bit more than I did. And I wanted to be as cool as them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
BMXs. I had my BMX. Was never off my BMX.
Yeah. Yeah, good times.
We were there, but I had a BMX, not in the 80s.
I've never had a BMX, but I am into my mountain biking. Or I was definitely into my mountain biking more. I bike all around Leeds at the moment, and but not quite in the same way as like going out and like hanging out on your BMX.
Is that what we did? We literally did.
You don't really see that doesn't really happen at all anymore.
No, I think as much as we are very young, I feel like we kind of maybe only just escaped being pure indoor children, because I feel like that happened more during lockdown. I feel like we had a couple of years before lockdown at like 10, 12, 13 where we were all really into scootering. So me and Drew, I wasn't friends with Sam at this point, we would literally get in from primary school, tell mum that you'd have dinner out or whatever, and we'd just go and scoot around all day. And like, but then it was lockdown. I feel like it was the kids that were that age in lockdown. It's since then that there's been like the indoor thing. Because I feel like even after lockdown at like 15, 16, that was much more indoor. I feel like that was when people were just sitting indoors playing on their Xbox. But before, as much as there was still techno, I mean, I didn't even get a phone until secondary school, so I feel like I was kind of blessed in a way to be a bit of an outdoor child.
I feel like now there's actually like more like two ends of the spectrum with it, because I think obviously COVID was such a crazy thing, and the pandemic has just changed people's lives in so many different ways. I think like before, and even before our generation, there was more like normalities of like how you'd hang out. Whereas now, I know a couple of people, like one of my cousins is in second year of college, and they have crazy parties, like 3-4 parties a week. And we didn't really get that because beforehand we were too young to party. Then the pandemic struck, and then afterwards everyone was a bit hesitant. But I think the people a couple of years below us, there definitely are a lot that maybe struggle socialising because the key years of their life, they were like locked away and might find it easy to communicate online through video games and stuff. But there is another I think, segment of people that are like really up for going out because they almost missed that in their early teens.
Yeah.
I think there's a bit more of like a divide now potentially.
I see that.
I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. I mean, have you come across the Airbnb school party scene?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's so much stuff like that going on now, like actual organised promoters doing house parties and.
Mate, we live on a new estate in Leeds, and one of our friends has an Airbnb. At GCSEs, when they're finished, we're like, on our estate, my eldest came home and was like, Dad, there's like 16 police vans at the bottom of the street. And we were like, all right. And my poor mate's Airbnb, there was like 120 kids in there.
Yeah.
And like, all like, like gassing up, like doing balloons and whatever and things like that. But it was really weird because it was two different schools that had turned up, but they were young, and I think they knew that they were in out of the depth because they were all like happy when they saw some adults around and some police, and the police handled it really, really well. And they were like, and they made sure everyone got home safe, and it wasn't about, there was a couple of broken windows and what have you, and some of them turned up the next day to help tidy up, but it was just like out of hand. It was crazy. But yeah, going back to the pandemic thing and like we youngsters at the moment, I definitely think like, not to get too heavy or anything, but we were facing like the biggest epidemic of mental health issues within young people that we've ever seen, because your brain's just not designed to cope with how much stimulation we get on a daily basis. And 9 times out of 10, the people I deal with, like at work or whether it's somebody on the label or in the family, people just knowing that it's all right not to be okay and talking to each other. Do you know what I mean? That's the great thing, really. And I think that's like what music and the arts and like a community and stuff does. Because like your podcast, you rely on not the doom scrollers, but like, people to interact with what you do.
Maybe they are doom scroll and then they see us and it's a little bit less doom.
No, but you're providing something that's interesting, that's nourishing for them to listen to and like inspiring people at your age to go like, actually, you can go and do something that's just not just sat on an Xbox.
Yeah,
that's what impresses me about you guys. Anyway, one of the things. Definitely.
There's a lot that we can sort of like do that for people, and that's the like main thing that I love about the podcast is like the real life interactions where you then can have a proper chat, because there's only so much you can do in comment sections and people DMing you. But it's amazing when we're out at Leeds, like live at Leeds was a great example. So many different people come and just say, "Oh, I love your stuff, and you've helped me get into these, and you've like really inspired me to like properly like deep dive into certain artists' discographies." And it's just like that's what it's all about, because. Like you're saying, the arts is so important for like mental health and just communities.
Absolute, community's key.
And there's so many people, like if they're able to like use our podcast and just like us and that are online and to like help inspire them and change their lives, it's absolutely beautiful.
Somebody said to me once, you never know when you're being a lighthouse.
Never know when you're being in the lighthouse.
Got it. That's
a good phrase. That's mad, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it now. It's a bit slow though.
And that lighthouse keeper, he's getting up every day. He doesn't know that light's shining to somewhere else. Oh, they've got quite deep, didn't it? Yeah. Anyway,
no, I like that. I like that.
But it's mad. Yeah, it's mad. It's mad times, isn't it? Yeah. It is mad times.
I mean, I did an article recently for a magazine, and I was talking about record collecting, and. One of a section in it was talking about how unique our generation is in terms of one, consuming media, and then B, the lockdown thing. Because it was kind of talking about how obviously in lockdown you've the world's been swept out from under your feet all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was a massive communal thing for like kind of people in lockdown in their early to mid teens, where like all of a sudden the future was so uncertain. There was nothing going on in the present. And I did like a whole thing about how like people started looking into the past. And I think that's why so many people our age are into a lot of music from the past and are just music nerds because they've looked into it.
Definitely.
So I'm saying so much time on your own, no future to look to, nothing happening right now. Let's look to the past and everything. And then I was talking about how I think like that is what has kind of contributed to the resurgence of the past decades of music and stuff like record collecting as well.
Physical media collecting, that's massive. You can't buy a CRT TV now for like less than, people were putting them in the tip. Everyone's buying them now. And like buying like VHS and buying, it's just like, what is going on? And things are circular, aren't they? You've got like paradigms for different eras and things like that happen. But that record collecting, obviously, like my youngest works in Vinyl Whistle as well.
Yeah.
Matthew works for me with the label, works at Crash, and like it's all right. I mean, with the Flat Moon thing, we're releasing it on vinyl first. We're not releasing it for another 6 weeks digitally.
Good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
You know, and that's the thing we want, and we know people are going to buy them. You know, it's going to be good, and I'm really, really excited. We're going tomorrow to see the actual finished article. Yeah. So to actually hold it in their hands. So it's coming out on. We've got black vinyl and we've got limited edition coloured vinyl. To be decided tomorrow what colour it is.
Well, I think by the time this comes out, we will actually know. So we'll have to see how that.
It'll be difficult with that album cover as well, because I feel like the George Best album up there, that's coloured vinyl, and obviously you've got one colour, two colours, red or that nice green. It's that nice green. On an album cover like Flat Moon's do album cover, how the hell are you going to choose what colours?
Oh mate, it's gonna be multicoloured.
You'd have to do a paint splatter.
Yeah, think rhubarb and custard.
Ooh. Oh no, you're making me hungry.
Yeah, think rhubarb and custard. We're lucky enough to work with a brilliant pressing plant in York, who lets us go down there and see it all, and we can even press some of the buttons and press some of the records. Yeah, going to do that tomorrow. That's going to be so insane. Cool. Do you know what I mean? It's like Willy Wonka, but for music nerds.
Perfect way to put it.
It's great. We love it. And
that's something to do one day. Just go to a record pressing factory.
Whenever you want to come. George would love to get him on the pod. He's brilliant. He's doing loads of stuff. He had to stop production a couple of weeks ago because he had to do 20,000 Lady Gaga albums for EMI.
Oh wow!
He was just like, Bob, your records are going to be a bit late, and I was like, that's fine, don't worry, you do what you need to do. Yeah, Gaga's outside. It's in York. It's mental, but these, what I like at the moment is there's definitely a chance for bands and for people to have a chance of a life less ordinary. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? These things, I do crazy things. Gotta do crazy things, and it's not normal. But you can do it. You can. My eldest was out on tour this year in Europe and are doing amazing things with their band, and it's just we've got to go to Berlin to see them, which was great. And it's just the things are happening, and people want it. So people want them records. People want to do the collecting. People are looking to the past.
Yeah.
Because the future's uncertain. I mean, COVID for me, at my age, you think, what's the worst that can happen? And then you're like, oh, yeah, this is bad. Followed by, oh well, if the world ends, I don't need to pay my debts.
Yeah. I think we all want a little bit of that. I remember.
Okay.
I remember finding out where we're getting the 6 weeks. I was in the car with my dad, driving to my granddad's house, and it was over the radio. And we both kind of looked at each other and went, well, no school, no work. It was almost a good thing and everything.
Yeah.
And then it did that second lot of 6 weeks. And I realised it only 3 months in, I found myself one day, I'd fully cleared the dining table and I'd started laying out a battle scene. Because the little green soldiers in Toy Story?
Yeah.
I put down dressing gowns to be like grass, the inside of the fluff. And I had little cocktail sticks that I burnt with the lights to burnt trees of no man's land. And I spent an entire day making a battle setup on a table. And I went, what am I doing?
Yeah, that sounds quite fun though.
I'm up for it.
I wish we had that much time.
You should have done a time lapse.
I've got some good pictures. I turned all the lights off, and then I had my phone and I was editing the picture so it looked like there was fire in the background and stuff. I thought that was a great day. Top 5 days ever. Probably.
Genuinely though, it would be amazing just to have the time to do something like that. So maybe the pandemic wasn't so bad.
I think it was a bit of a reset for a lot of people, wasn't it?
I feel like people changed.
I mean, I taught first year of some people's degrees. I'd never seen their legs for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then the third years, the teaching was crazy.
Yeah.
My youngest was going through their GCSEs, and it was just yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
It was weird, wasn't it? And I feel I think especially that's why it's so important for people our age, because it's in that time where so much change is happening.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that I talked about as well. It's that time when changes are happening in early teenage years, you need to be outside, you need to have all them experience and everything. And I feel like a lot of us missed out on so much of that and then had so much catching up to do and maybe never got it and everything. So it was just, it's a completely different thing that was the other thing that I spoke about with subcultures. In the past, you had that community be oh, I'm into this kind of music, I'm into this kind of fashion, I'm in this group.
Yeah.
Whereas in that time, we had the opportunity to be able to dip into a bit of everything.
Yeah.
We were absent of secondary school social hierarchy of what are you wearing and blah, 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 blah. So everyone just was entirely who they were. Everything. And then we came back after lockdown, back to school, and everyone was like, everyone has changed so much. Because before, everyone had the same haircut, everyone was wearing the same thing on non-uniform day. I was actually the first person in our school to wear a pair of baggy jeans on non-uniform day.
Speaking of jeans.
Here we go.
You said this on camera before.
Great segue.
I'm good at it. It's terrible. Yeah, but what were we talking about earlier? Oh, I was talking about Mac DeMarco fans, weren't I?
Yeah.
And barrel jeans.
Yeah.
And
I will say, I like Mac DeMarco,
I like Mac DeMarco.
but the barrel jeans, balloon fit.
Yeah.
Balloon fit barrel jeans, man. I tried a pair on. Do you know what I look like? A barrel.
I feel like someone like Mac though, he kind of just he just pulls it off.
It's not even him that wearing it. It's his fans.
I know, but I feel like I don't know. There's just something about it that just feels like Mac and his fan base and his lore. It just kind of suits that whole aesthetic.
I love Matt DeMarco. He's completely mental there.
That's
Forget
brilliant.
about his stuff that he used to do on tour.
I've heard about the drumsticks.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Mental, isn't it?
But even just the way he performs now, it's the way he's performing, this really high tempo energy. You wouldn't think that he's playing this laid back, soft alternative indie music.
And he was one of the people that people got massively into in lockdown as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was probably the most
the
lockdown staple.
TikTok artist.
Everybody thinking, I'm going to grow a tash.
Yeah. Because it was people like Matt DeMarco,
Steve
Beach House,
Lacey.
Steve Lacey, Men I Trust. It was all those kind of bands and everything. And I think it was because so influenced by stuff of the past that then it was something as simple as getting your recommended stuff on your streaming platforms. Most of the time, if you don't have that much time, whatever, don't check it out. But when you're sat in your room all day, you think, I might as well give it a listen.
What would you call that genre? Would you call that slacker indie?
Well, in my article, I was talking about that, and I called it bedroom pop.
Bedroom pop.
I think that is often what it's referred to as, because a lot of it was made in bedrooms. It had that lo-fi sort of aesthetic to it.
Yeah.
And you had your purple LEDs on while you were listening to it that everyone had.
Yeah.
Oh, the LEDs are so cool.
Interesting. Yeah, I do like him though. I think he's all right.
Yeah, we're going to be able to see him at Primavera next year as well. We've not actually been able to see him before, and he's one of them ones that's he's never right at the top of my bucket list, because he's more like a nostalgia artist for me. I don't listen to him loads now, but if I had the opportunity to see him on a festival lineup like we do next year, I'm buzzing. He's one of my main highlights on that lineup for sure.
Yeah.
Because his set list we were going through it the other day, it's actually just stacked of so many
you forget how many incredible
nostalgic
songs he has.
tunes he's got.
Because that was the thing, even when we were in lockdown, when anything was lifted or whatever, or if you just snuck out, meeting in the park, because you could do the gatherings, no one was there, so you just meet in massive groups in the park and social distance. And it'd be people,
Allegedly.
Songs freaking out the neighbourhood.
Yeah.
That summer of 2020, it doesn't get much better than that.
5 years ago.
I know.
That's
I
you
was
make us feel
15.
old.
That's 5 years. I was that 5 years ago. Man, yeah.
It's crazy, but like you say, it has shaped so many different people in different ways. We probably, in fact, I could probably confidently say we wouldn't be here for it if it wasn't for
that was
COVID.
my absolute transitional period in terms of music was lockdown. That was when I got into music. I said, I was talking to my dad the other day about, I can remember such a pivotal, there's a couple to be fair in lockdown. One of them was coming downstairs and Dad was watching TV, and there was Fontaine's DC performing live in this jail.
Oh, yeah.
I sat down and watched it for a bit, and it was a Heroes Death title track that they were performing. I thought, this is me. Got into them. And maybe even a bit earlier than that, maybe 13, 14. So actually, no, it was lockdown, so 14. Just been watching music videos of stuff like Mac DeMarco and that kind of indie pop, bedroom pop from that time. And then you get recommended the old indie stuff. And I didn't even put it on. It was when a video ends and the next one comes on. It was a This Charming Man music video. And I was watching it and I was like, what is going on here? What is his hair? What is he wearing? Why has he got 10 pearl necklaces in that big flowery room with all that flamboyant dancing? Morrissey.
You know what he does now though, don't you? He takes his top off all the time.
And he rips it. And I was watching it and I was just thinking, what's going on? I really like this. And then my dad, as my door cracked open, I thought, oh bollocks, Dad's gonna think I'm gay. That was my first thought. And he came in and just went, I jumped up, bedroom. I was just happy to see that I was getting into the Smiths.
Oh bless.
You quoted that.
And we went to see Johnny Marr at Scarborough Open Air Theatre.
Nice.
Incredible gig. He did a couple of track encore, and I think he came back out for the encore doing a cover of The Passenger. That was absolutely mint. He was so good. He's still on form these days. And he sings, and he sings the Smith songs, and he sings them just as good as Morrissey did.
Yeah. I've got a funny relationship with the Smiths. I do like the Smiths, but I didn't get on with people that liked the Smiths at the time. That was the thing. Because Well, in the 80s, they knew they were the cool kids, and they were a bit holier than thou. Do you know what I mean? And you were like, oh mate, you know, I can like the Smiths, but I can still like Agadoo, Black Lace. Yeah, God, that's terrible. No, I didn't like that. No. Yeah, nostalgia is a really weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what you guys listen? What's your favourite? What's the word? What have you discovered recently? What music are you into?
One thing I want to shout out that I've found out recently, is Louse the Cat is a sort of like anonymous, sort of abstract and like deep conceptual like jazz rapper. And he's based in Leeds right now. He took a 7-year hiatus from I think it was his debut album. Right. So everyone thought he just dropped off the face of the earth. He's been very anonymous. His album this year is one of the best concept albums, if not the best concept album that's come out this year, coming out of a guy based in Leeds. He produces it, does a lot of the arrangements, and just the storytelling in general is amazing. That's my favourite like studying album at the moment. We're like locked in, we've got all our uni assignments and that coming up. So a lot of our listening is whilst doing other things. And that's just the beautiful like jazzy instrumentation, and his very like monotone and like just soothing delivery is very nice to listen to while in the background. But if you want to nerd out and get into it, it's got like a proper like nursery rhyme fable almost storyline through it, which makes it feel nostalgic. But it's just something like another world to escape into.
Yeah.
I've spoken to Max about this a lot. I love like concept albums and just where you can escape into a different world and use your imagination. But that's Louse the Cat's new album is amazing.
Brilliant.
I've not been so recently.
Recently?
The one album that I've not been able to kind of get away from at the minute, and I can't stop listening to it, it's Bridge Over Troubled Water, Simon and Garfunkel.
Really? Interesting.
I love Simon and Garfunkel at the minute. There's one song on there, The Only Living Boy in New York, when I've got my 20-minute or so walk to uni. That's always the first song upon. It's always good on a rainy day, that album.
Was it Carter the Unstoppable Sex Machine that did The Only Living Boy in New Cross? That was there, did it? Yeah. But yeah, that did you see Sabrina Carpenter and Paul Simon doing Homeward Bound?
Yeah.
I actually didn't know. I didn't know that.
That was the most beautiful thing ever, because like he was like, he didn't really know where he was.
Yeah.
And she's like young, and he said this thing. He said, "Oh, I wrote this song." What did he say? Well, it was something like, it wasn't there when like even when was probably when our grandparents were born. Do you know?
Yeah.
What I mean? Yeah. But she sang and let him do his bits, and he did his bits, and then there's just this synergy between these two, amazing artists, like 60 odd years apart, and it was just beautiful. It was just a beautiful thing.
I'll have to give that a watch, because as much as I'm not massive on Sabrina Carpenter,
it was
undeniably she can sing.
Yeah, it was on. I'm not. Maybe it was on the SNL celebration, wasn't it? I think
it was one of them sort of things.
But that was good. So Bridge Over Troubled Water. I mean, classic songwriter.
I'm very much a seasonal listener, I think.
Yeah,
like depending on the weather, that's
interesting.
Fully what I'm listening to, which probably. I do probably a bit of damage to myself in the winter time, because I end up listening to really sad, melancholic stuff. And like today, what was it? I was listening to Tame Impala's Deadbeat on the walk home today, and I realised I feel so much better than I usually do at walk. Because
usually I'll be Jeff Buckley. They only found his shoes.
What was I listening to the other day when it just genuinely ruined me? I told you, I came into your room and I told you.
Wasn't it it was an Iranian shoegaze album? Was that the one?
No, but that's another thing that I listened to recently. Just randomly found this this shoegaze album by this I think Iranian band. It was really, really good. It was like a short album, only like 24 minutes or something, 8 tracks, and it was just like really solid, just really fuzzy, distorted stuff. Like, you don't really listen to the lyrics. I mean, it was in Arabic anyway, but.
Yeah, man.
Just soundscapes. That was good.
Go on, Kevin.
It was yesterday. I came into your room and I told you what I'd been listening to.
It wasn't yesterday. I was at work all day yesterday.
It was the day before. To be fair, it might have been Bridge Over Troubled Water. That would be believable.
To be fair, I thought the other one you were into, like, and you're like addicted to at the moment, is Pet Sounds, the Beach Boys.
It was Pet Sounds. That was what it was.
Well, that ruins you. I feel like Pet Sounds makes me feel quite good and warm.
It depends on the song, because like obviously songs like Wouldn't It Be Nice are nice sunny songs, but I just wasn't made for these times.
Yeah,
that breaks me every time. That's a really sad one.
Hold On to Your Ego.
What else is that? That kind of 3-track run after Wouldn't It Be Nice, which has Don't Talk, Put Your Head on My Shoulder, You Still Believe in Me, and what's the other one called? It might literally. That's Not Me.
Yeah.
That's Not Me is a beautiful
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
That one's not Brian Wilson though. That's Mike Love vocals.
Yeah.
And I don't usually like the Mike Love vocals.
It's mad, isn't it? Like, and then you got
that one.
like stuff like Sloop John B on there as well. It's
yeah.
just like about a slavery ship.
Yeah, it's
Such an amazing
I love
timeless
the. I
album.
just love the. But I mean, the thing with Pet Sounds is how he made it. Is he sent off like the Beach Boys to go on tour?
Yeah.
And he made it himself.
Have you watched the film?
Yeah, the
Is it
Wrecking.
Love and Mercy? It's called?
Yeah, and
That's
then
a
he did
great
it with
film.
the Wrecking Crew.
Yeah.
All of them guys that played on every single 60s record
Yeah.
you can imagine.
Yeah.
But the way he produced it was mad. He like it didn't do like track the whole song's drums and then do like and then track over the top of it. He'd like do it in sections.
Yeah.
So he'd like do the whole like chorus like fully produced and then do the next bit and then glue it together. I think Parallel Lines, Blondie was done like that as well.
Yeah, that's
but we
great.
do that. We think nothing of that now. Do you know when we're chopping it in a DAW, just chopping and putting bits and pieces together, A section, B section, build or whatever, and things
Yeah.
like that. I always find that quite
Yeah.
quite interesting.
Pet,
really.
Pet Sounds always blows me away. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
Pet-
That
yeah.
was one. That's something that I was thinking about. I think it is. I just wasn't made for these times. In the background, it's got. I think it's like a steel drum that's got like a really wobbly. It goes like. Ba-dum, 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 bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum.
Yeah.
And on its own, it sounds so weird and circus-like. But in the background of that song, it's just another added layer. I
love that.
It's just gorgeous.
And sounds that affect you, like certain sounds that give you like obviously they remind you of a place and time, don't they? But like it's like I was some of my lectures I talk about how does a song or a sound like a place?
Exactly, yeah.
So like for instance, Joy Division, right? You know, like that sounds like bleak industrial Manchester. Yeah. Does it? Is that because of what we've had transposed onto it? Because of what we now, or did it then, or did it sound otherworldly? And like you got like people like Geezer Butler from Sabbath saying, "Oh well, like you know, I used to listen and I could hear the Foundries and the Drop Forges and all of the big, and that's what made me want to make things like you know sound like heavy and stuff and things like that." And then like there's just some little sounds that are just like, oh, do you know what? One of the things that I like at the moment is so weird. Have you ever watched Escape to the Country?
No, I haven't.
Guys.
Don't ask him. He's literally watched. We said this. He's watched Cars and Toy Story, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm a
Well, no, I
music
mean, the
nerd, but I've
TV
not watched
show.
many films.
It's like a
of
TV show
TVs.
where like
Right.
the take right. I have two problems with it. Well, the main problem is they've always got too much budget that we're never going to have. Like I've got 1.5 million and I want to go and buy this, and you're like, what the hell are you doing? So and then the couples are on it. They get shown 6 houses and they never buy a house ever. But there's just this little string run at the end of it that goes, and it's like, ooh. And every time you just get, I get a little dopamine thing, and I'm like, why is that's weird?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Little fizz.
What do you say about that with I'm a Celeb? Just like some of the, you know, there's almost like that. I love it.
Every single time I say sample it, someone needs to sample that because I need that like in a song.
Yeah,
He did this the other day. Sam's girlfriend plugged in a laptop to do this thing so we could skip the ads, and it glitched. And you know, like the dum 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 dum.
Yeah.
It like glitched it and made it like repeat on like a 4-bit, like a Pharrell. Like
It sounded like a proper sample shop when I was...
And we both looked at each other like, why did we not get that recorded?
Neptune style.
Yeah.
Man. That is mad. With the things that stick in your head, like the ooh, Danon, maybe it's Maybelline. I got a feeling that them people that do that, they all live in the same place.
Potentially.
Anyway,
And we've been chatting for a while. Should we get into some hot takes? Have you got any hot takes, Bob? I feel like you've been in lots of different areas of the industry. You've got your own music takes. Is there anything in particular that you've got that is hot?
hot as in controversial.
Whether it be good or bad.
Yeah, good or bad. Because when we always say this, people always just come on here and just like slander people, which I mean is fair enough. Like if you've got it bubbling under your skin, you might as well let off some steam. But you can also like suggest like some underrated things, or hot takes can be good as well.
Mashed potato.
Good or bad?
Evil.
Evil.
See, I agree.
Oh no, I can't be on my own on this one.
It's the devil's semen.
Why? Why would you ever?
Allegedly.
Why would you ever have mashed potato when you could have a beautiful, crispy roast potato?
Right. And the thing is, right, I know that once you've chewed a chip in your mouth, it becomes mashed potato.
It's different though, isn't it?
No, it's different.
It is. Interesting. It is different.
I agree, it's different, but it's different in a good way. I like mashed potato. If it's done right, it's nice, soft. It's like creamy. And I actually like. Is your thing like texture thing as well? I actually like the texture of it. It's just nice and soft. It's just nice.
I can force myself to eat a beautiful buttery creamy if it's really buttery and it's really smooth. If I've got it covered in gravy and I can have a mouthful of sausage with it, I'm fine. However, like when it, you know what it is? It's primary school dinner mashed potato.
Yeah, it
cold and chunky
and served with an ice cream scoop. What are you doing?
That's what it's for.
But if it's done well, like I just think it's amazing. Like with a roast, it's just it's so good.
If I was on a desert island and that was the last thing left to eat, I would starve.
Yeah.
I honestly, I feel that
anybody who knows me,
you've just said, oh, it's so good with a roast dinner. You would have a roast potato because it's a roast dinner.
But you can have different types. You can have boiled potatoes, mashed potatoes.
I normally have mashed with my roasts.
Mashed turnip and swede.
I just love roast potatoes so much.
No, see, I just prefer like your classic mashed potato, the mashed potato and swede.
I can eat mashed potato, mashed. Yeah,
carrot and swede mashed.
Mashed carrot and swede. I can eat no problem.
Well, how does the texture of that not like throw you off? Because that's still a bit weird.
The thing. It doesn't. You know the thing is that my thing is with textures. It's whether flavors match textures. What else do I have that I don't like? Mushrooms.
Oh,
you guys need to go on like a.
Because the thing is,
what are we having?
Mushrooms.
We're not having mushrooms, and we're not having mash.
Mushrooms taste of mud. So, therefore, mushrooms should have the texture of a mouthful of dirt. I would like it more.
I like a nice garlic mushroom, a nice well-cooked, or a fried mushroom and a fried breakfast.
I feel like maybe if it's... When it's cooked where it almost gets a bit meaty, I don't mind a mushroom, but it's when it's just like rubbery.
The thing is like my mum cooks a lovely bolognese. It's absolutely beautiful, and you still enjoy it and you have eaten it. But your thing you don't like about it is the mushrooms. But when it's in a bolognese, how? Because you can't even tell that they're there.
No. Texture wise, you don't really, especially because she dices them up small, especially when she knows I'm coming. However,
I love that.
It's when you have a mouthful and you're like, it's fine actually, and then it's got that earthy aftertaste. Well, like, I've had the bolognese, actually it was all right, and then I open my mouth and breathe, and it's like, I've just got mud in my mouth. Yeah, it's that. It's like you've almost got the gas in your mouth.
That's scorching hot.
Hate Radiohead.
Radiohead. A little birdie did tell me.
They didn't tell you the full story, did they?
Yes, but I was extremely drunk, and I'm being honest, I actually do not remember it.
Believable.
This haunts me everywhere I go, but I did say.
And I also actually can't remember who it was that told me, so I can't even throw anyone under the bus.
Everyone knows.
Care to share from yourself? And then that means you can twist it, and then anyone that's watching that knows the story can come at you, but for the average viewer, they aren't going to know.
Right, okay. So, study music, work in music, should not be so flippant as to say, that's just rubbish. Yeah. That would be remiss of me to be like that.
Yeah.
Right. All of my students, everybody that I talk to, they have all that, this spiel so much times. Right. I appreciate the genius of it. I know that I'm probably missing out. I understand that what they've done for technology and moving art forward, and all of them things are a thing. I get that, but just the way his voice sounds, it's like biting a wet jumper. It's like hitting a spoon on your filling. It's like sniffing a wet dog. It's like scraping your nails down a blackboard. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
Is it all stuff you don't like Tom York's voice, or is it just some Radiohead stuff?
All of it. Well...
Really? Because the earlier stuff, he's not necessarily got as much of his like whiny falsetto that everyone else
but
loves.
Also,
the earlier stuff's like...
There was an incident.
Yeah, I think that is what I've...
That's what you're alluding to, isn't it?
I've heard. You don't have to talk about it, but I mean...
Tom York shagged my bird.
I do remember it now. Yeah, all of a sudden, all the alcohol players come out my head.
This is true. Like this is true fact. 1990, Teesside Polytechnic. I was studying an art degree, and they were supporting a band called Sultans of Ping FC. Are you familiar? Are you familiar with Sultans of Ping FC?
No, but that is an incredible
They had one
name.
hit, right, that's called Where's My Jumper? Right, I think I know all the words. My brother knows Karl Marx. He met him eating mushrooms in the People's Park. He said, what do you think about my manifesto? I like my manifesto, going to put it to the testo. He took me down to see the Anarchist Party. He met a groovy guy who was Arctic Party. I forgot the rest of it. And then he goes, where's my jumper? Where's my jumper? Where's my jumper?
I might have to check that out.
Right, honestly, it is a tune, but they were supporting them.
Right.
And I was like, young, I had cheekbones, and I was seeing this girl. And then she went backstage with the band, with Radiohead, and didn't come back.
Is that when he had that horrible blonde mop?
I don't know what he had. But I'm not, do you know what though? That did happen, but it's not the reason I hate them.
Yeah.
It's just that is.
But subconsciously, it could play a part. That's a bad thing.
Aside. I've been married for 25 years. I'm happily married. But like it was, it was just weird, when you go back to that. That's not a normal thing to happen in someone's life, is it?
In the moment as well, that's a horrific thing. However, it is a very good claim to fame.
Not many people can say that. If we clip this up, that will 100% go viral. Clip farming.
Oh, I love it. But yeah, it is true. What else? What we had? Just random things that have happened. I can tell you random things that have happened to me that have not been.
Absolutely do that.
Tell us whatever you want. Yeah.
Some of my music ended up on a dildo advert.
What, out of your control?
Yeah.
How does that even begin to... So did you get like a brief, or was it just out there music that you couldn't copyright or something and it just got used without you knowing?
I don't know, but some students showed me the video about 10 years ago in a lecture. They'd Googled me and they'd found it. And so it was some music that I'd done, some catalogue music. I can't remember what I was working for now, some catalogue company at the time. And it just ended up on it was like Love Honey or somebody like that. Right. And it had this like little, it was proper like 70s wow, and it was this like really tasteful shot of this like dildo, and then there had this other bit on it, right? And then it was zooming up, and then there was this little bit where I hit this like little thing in it, and as it did that, it went onto the little tickler thing that went, and it was beautifully in sync. And I didn't know about it. I got paid for it, and and
there we go then.
But like I got some royalties for it, but it just turned up on like some students like, Bob, is this you? And I was like,
this is yours.
yeah. Where did you find that? That is absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, that happened.
It sounds like they did a good song choice though. It sounds like it
sounds quite interesting.
The world's changed now. I mean, you just get AI to write the song for your dildos now. Yeah. This is a sentence I thought I'd never ever say. Yeah. You didn't think this.
So what? AI couldn't come up with that.
No,
that's how we know better.
No, they couldn't. But
put that prompt into ChatGPT.
you get probably something quite graphic, I assume.
Anything else I hate or that does me head in? I don't know. I like cream eggs.
Oh, it needs to be Easter. I know we've got Christmas, but cream eggs are top tier.
You know what annoys me? You know when you bite into them and it's got like, there's a bit of air. I wish it was all 100% filmed with the cream.
And it's not the real, it's not the Cadbury's Dairy Milk that's around it anymore. It's just a generic chocolate.
Oh, well, that's no good, is it?
Yeah, that's poor.
I know.
That's very
I remember when they did when you could find the white one and you get like
a million quid.
A mil or whatever.
We've tried playing Chubby Bunnies with cream eggs.
No, but that would be quite the challenge.
Have you? It sounds like you have.
Yeah.
How many have you got in?
5.
Oh, that's good going.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, we're bad.
Yeah, you must have nearly chirped.
Yeah, if one of them goes down, that's it.
You're gone. You're gone.
Yeah, I remember when they did that white Easter egg thing. I think I probably had about 7 cream eggs a day for a good few months.
It's a good excuse to have them, though. It definitely works.
Yeah.
Definitely works.
Max, can you stop eating cream eggs? I'm going to get us a mill.
It's an investment.
I got the golden tick. I get to go. But, I mean, I think the music industry at the moment is quite interesting. People, industry plants.
Any industry plants you want to shout out?
Youngblood.
Yes, thank you. See, Max keeps banging on. We have this debate. Drew will be so happy to know that you've said that as well. But we keep saying, like, I know you don't necessarily like love his music, but you say you like him as a person. But like, it is so like just performative. I don't know how he can't see
You know
through
what it
it.
is? I just have so much respect for how confident he is. It's genuinely like that clip the other day. I saw a thing like he was in America and he was doing like a signing. He was sat behind this desk and this guy comes up to him quite rudely and just goes, "I don't know who the fuck you are, but who the fuck are you?" And rather than being a bit like this guy, he was like, "My name's Dominic. I'm from the north of England. I'm called Youngblood. I'm kind of like," I think his words were, "if the Beastie Boys and Arctic Monkeys had sex and Justin Bieber had filmed it." And he just said that to a random stranger. And I was like, how, just having the balls say that, someone who come up to you quite rudely. And I was just like, you know what? I don't really like your music. You might be a little bit corny at times, but respect for the
That's how
confidence.
low your standards are for liking someone. Then you're pretty easy to please. Go on, Bob. What if you want to expand on your Youngbloods?
That were it, really. Just, what you said. I don't know. But I'm divided. He did a BBC Live Lounge about 6 months ago. It was incredible. And I was annoyed.
I'm not annoyed. I'm always.
I was like, because he just, I think it was the documentary that he did where he was like talking about his like childhood trauma and stuff and things like that in front of his family, and his family were just like going, "You what?"
Yeah.
Just there was a disingenuous sort of feeling there, I think. But I don't know the guy personally, but like he might be all right. But like industry, but when people have. I don't know if the thing industry plant is a thing, really, because like, what's that going to get people at the end of the day?
Because record labels money. That's what it does.
Yeah.
I've got someone that we can talk about that I'm not sure if Bob will be aware of, but if you are or if you aren't, we can choose when we talk about it.
Go on.
Are you aware of a fairly local band who have been quite controversial called 10 Hands High?
No, but please tell me. I do like some tea.
Yeah, so 10 Hands High, they're based in London. But they came to uni in Leeds, and they've released a song that's called Leeds, and it's about like Take Me Back to Leeds, and it's supposed to be like this uni life nostalgia and stuff. What are some of the lyrics? Because they just come off the really the wrong way, and it's just not great.
So there's kind of like the corniness, which is like the intoxicated most of the time. Baggy tees are as common as petty crime. But then the bad ones is when it starts talking about, obviously, Hyde Park isn't just a student area. People actually live here. And there's like, we've got rats in the bin. Don't worry, you can just paint over all the mould and stuff like that. And I thought people have heard it and thought, people have been saying it's quite distasteful and there's a bit of a sour taste in the mouth because it feels almost a bit like belittling of the area and like people that actually live here just saying, it's pretty much saying, this is a fucking shithole. But I like it because we had a trust fund.
Yeah. That's bad.
And also the instrumentally so bland, formulaic, just like indie sort of pop rock. It's just so boring.
I've not heard it, but I am going to formulate an opinion based on what you've told me.
Yeah.
So like, there's that whole thing in it. It's like common people pulp. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She studied sculpture, St Martin's College, etc. Where people like from certain demographics through no fault of their own feel like their time in Leeds in this area is pretty much slumming it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But they haven't got the jeopardy or the they don't have to live here. I mean, I come from like Hartlepool, like the house I grew up in is like boarded up. Do you know what I mean? Probably wouldn't sell for like $3,000. Yeah. We had nothing. You know what I mean? And my parents were out of work because like there was no jobs.
Yeah.
Simple as that. We still did great. Do you know what I mean? Like loved and everything, and being able to, me and my brother both being able to fly the nest, but we don't kind of live there. So that nostalgia, there's always a nostalgia about Leeds, and I suppose that sort of transient part of your life where you come as a young adult and you leave as a older adult. Do you know what I mean? You do a lot of your formative years, aren't there? And I've heard lots of songs written about Leeds and student life, and some really beautiful ones about walking down like because you live in a house for a little while and then you had some good times. You walk past and someone else is living in it and you're like, that's a weird feeling.
Yeah.
But like just to go like it's full of rats and there's loads of mold. Yeah. Say something funny like isn't it funny how like when you walk past the bus station, there's like spice heads spawning randomly.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's just like
it's like I'm sure they didn't mean it with a bad intent, but it comes off like really out of touch and insensitive.
Yeah,
which is why it's just not great. But to be fair, they've got a bit of a buzz like going around them, but it is like the most like generic, just casual. They're not actually into the music. They're just it's easy.
And
it
seems to be a little bit of an ego boost project for the frontman, because all the promo is either just him or him stood at the front lip syncing, and then the rest of the band just walking behind him. Like he seems like an interesting character. And I'd be interested to meet him and see what he's actually like in real life, because he could come across as a perfectly nice guy. However,
rubbed you up the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't like to, like, especially on upcoming artists, I don't want to shit on upcoming artists, but it's sort of like you're in a position where you have like all the creative control and this is what you're choosing to do with it.
And the thing is, to be fair, we don't have to worry about shitting on upcoming artists, because I swear they're probably bigger than us.
Well, I mean, yeah, either way, it's still like, they're still on the way.
We're shitting upwards.
Shitting up. That's I've tried that. Right then, let's talk about that then. Scotch or not take.
Right, but have you got any more hot takes for us before we finish
I'm just thinking of some, you know what I mean? Like stuff that I just, the music industry at the moment, the way it is kind of like a little, as you said earlier, it's a bit weird. Saying that there's some shining lights of like stuff that's like happening. Like we have, like where we're based at Eiger, we have like bands in and out there all the time, and you know, lots of big bands based there, lots of our bands based there, Monomyth, lots of other bands based there, and like I think the community aspect of what's happening in Leeds at the moment has been a lot stronger than it has been, like music wise. I think there's a lot of really good bands coming out that like are interesting to see, and the North in general. I mean, I'm really into band from Manchester at the moment, Formal Speedway. Okay. You know, Formal Speedway.
I've heard of them, but I've not actually checked them out.
So good. And like, obviously, like the guys in Adult DVD. Did you see Adult DVD the other day?
No, we didn't. That was one of the ones. It's a clash.
Oh,
but
man.
I'd love to.
I mean, I know the guys. They used to be the band that they were in before. Uncle Buzzard were on our label. We did quite a few songs with them, and Danny and Greg and all of them, and Jake, and then and George, and then there's like Harry and that. I absolutely love what's going on in that Leeds sort of electronic indie kind of vibe at the moment. I think there's a lot of really interesting stuff happening. And for me, because like I'm listening to most of my music when I'm DJing, so I get like an hour or two at a Porto where I can play stuff like that, and I can mix it into the new Soulwax stuff and bands like High Vis and Gilla Band and bands like that. Do you know what I mean? And I'm really into that. Like sort of, whoa, did you hear my stomach there? Whoa.
It's the rhubarb and custard. We need
it's the rhubarb and custard and the industrial stuff like Working Men's Club and bands like that. Yeah. That's where I'm at the moment, because that for me takes it harks back to the 80s, like bands like Front 242 and bands like that, and it takes the post-punk thing. I do think there are some bands in Leeds that got a post-punk colouring book for Christmas. And a pedo tash and some round rim glasses and say the words because they can't sing the words. And
wouldn't do you're talking about.
No, there's some really good ones.
Yeah.
There are some really good ones, honestly. I really do, and we know what the good ones are. But some of it I'm just like, did you just listen to The Fall once?
Yeah, well, there's been stuff that we've seen or heard of before when it's like, in theory, objectively, what this is, I like, but it feels so mimicky and
derivative.
I think that's just that's a universal thing as well. I don't think that's specifically a
there's always
thing.
I mean, like originality is really hard to come by, but newness is in the eye of the beholder. That's just how it is. And there's a new generation, like, you know, like you've got New York Dolls, then you've got the Ramones, then you've got the Strokes. Do you know what I mean? There's like there's one of them for each generation.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Now so we've got Geese. Geese is the most.
Oh, I love Geese.
Yeah, we love Geese. But I was about to link that around with what you were just saying, because I was literally other day watching the interview they did on the Zane Lowe show, and Cameron was saying about it's everyone, like, he doesn't like it when people just claim that they're entirely original and not influenced by anything, because you are. And he said it's what you do with the influence, and there's certain people that try and mimic a sound because they like it and want to be that, and there's certain people that interpret it, and the influence then comes from the heart, and that's where you get the best stuff. And that is just Geese's music down to a T.
Love that.
You can see there's so many different influences, but it still feels very original to them and authentic. And going forwards, it's going to be even harder and harder to stand out with such like back catalogue and history of music.
Yeah.
But it's about like taking those influences and like doing something new with it and putting a different twist on it. And I don't think that art can ever get stale because that's an ongoing, continuous thing.
I love it. And there's something new, there's a bit of that for each generation, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I love it. And I love all of that. And I think, we're like that in culture. We're like in a very much like safe, what's the word? Like the amount of sequels that don't need to be made, the amount of like intellectual property that's just getting rinsed and rinsed and rinsed. That's what I hate.
Yeah.
Sequels that don't need to be made. I mean, and films, I'm pretty bad with films anyway. And TV, like my TV that I watch is all like factual stuff, like Skinwalker Ranch and like American Pickers and Forged in Fire.
Forged in Fire is brilliant.
Right, and stuff like that, because like my brain just, I only realised like a couple of years ago that like I wasn't very good at reading fiction because I'm dyslexic. My brain won't, it's more concentrating on doing the mechanics of reading than the actual world building.
Yeah.
So I just end up like, so like I'm like that with any fiction. Can't watch The Hobbit. Can't watch, what's it called? The ship that sinks, Titanic. That's it. Yeah, it sinks, so I'm not interested.
Yeah.
So I'm a nightmare to watch a film with. My wife will just say I'm a nightmare anyway. And on that note,
well, it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast. But before we finish, I think it's only right that you shout out some of the artists, some of the amazing artists on Monomyth.
Yeah, we've got some. We've got some brand new bands that we've started working with. Glass Frogs.
Yeah.
Insane. Like a mixture between like, I don't know, Prince meets Kate Bush meets Japanese street opera meets the funkiest stuff you've ever seen.
Yeah,
that sounds right up my alley.
They are incredible. We're going to Reykjavik with them in January to do a show. Healer from Iceland, just started working with them. Hit List are new to the label. Twin Size are new to the label. No Cameo new to the label. Then we've got still got Hell and Muck and Mints and all of them bands all doing amazing things. And then like our friends bands like the 113, absolutely super proud of Jack and everything that they're doing. They're the kind of band that you listen to and you think, God, I wish I could have been in that band.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the excitement is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you ever lose that excitement of standing in front of your mirror, pretending you're in a band, playing air guitar, jumping up and down when there's no one in, I think for me, that's, when you've still got a bit of that, you're still doing all right.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
That's such a universal experience.
Yeah, facts. No one ever wants to admit it, but everyone always.
Yeah, man.
Everyone does that.
Exactly that.
Especially naked.
Amazing.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, thank you very much for coming, Bob.
Thank you,
been
man.
A pleasure. We've had a great chat, and we got to discuss some new topics like mashed potato that we normally get to speak about.
Mashed potato or the Scotch Not Six. Scotch Not Mashed Potato podcast.
We've got the best soundbite you've ever had, which is 1, 2, 3. Tom York, Shag My Bird.
There we go. I had no idea where you were going with that. Just doing it for views now. Anyway.
Sorry, I don't usually refer to females as birds anyway. Oh, God. I'm sorry.
Tom York, Shag My Respectable Lady.
I am. Yeah, my kids would crucify me. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Thank you very much for watching. Let us know what your favourite upcoming Leeds bands are. And make sure you're getting down to a lot of Leeds gigs. You will see us there, and you'll probably see Bob as well.
Yeah.
If not, he'll be around the corner. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment.
Always watching.
Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.
Toodles.